Welcome to the Valley Today, a public service presentation of KAIL TV. We travel to Wildwater Adventure Park and visit with Kathy Siggers. Founded in 1974 as a camping spot, Wildwater has grown into a serious water park. On June 18th, starting at 8 a.m., Wildwater will participate in the World's Largest Swim Lesson. This event is engineered to break a world record and teach kids how to swim. Join us as we visit with Kathy up next on the Valley Today. Welcome to the Valley Today. We're at Wildwater Adventure Park with Kathy Siggers. Thanks for being on the show. And man, this is it's packed. And of course, these are all school kids. This is a special day here.
Correct. This is a large school day. We have lots of schools in, lots of kids.
Yeah.
They're end of school celebration.
Yeah, and you guys will be rocking every day now until the heat goes down, right?
Well, yep, through Labor Day.
Yeah, and you have a special event coming on June 18th, and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're real excited to be a part of the 4th annual World's Largest Swim Lesson. It's sponsored in part by the World Water Park Association, and it's a simultaneous around-the-world swim lesson.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
So have you done this before?
We did it in 2010, the first year.
And what brought this on? Why come up with this?
They don't have the skills and they don't know what to do. So swim lessons help them be self-sufficient in the water.
So this is the last record set was about 25,000 kids.
Yes.
And at how many different water parks did they do this?
Well, I think it was over 600 water parks.
Okay.
A lot of them, surprisingly, don't know how to swim. And so it's real important for us to help participate with the World Water Park to promote that.
That has got to make your job a little harder when kids don't know how to swim and they come here and they could potentially, you know, get in trouble being in the deep end of the pool. Right.
Well, when they learn to swim, they learn some key things. They learn how to swim with a buddy. They learn how to take rest and not overexert themselves. They learn to match the water environment with their swim skills. And if they don't have a swimming lesson, they don't really understand that. They think if they see a lifeguard, it's automatically safe. And that's not actually true because...
Or smart.
Or smart, because they can see them, but if they're not swimming with a buddy, then no one can tell that they're in trouble and no one signals a lifeguard. Because there's lots of kids. Now,
does Wildwater Adventures, do they host swim lessons here year-round or when you're in operation?
No, we haven't done that. We actually have partnered with some Learn to Swim programs. You know, there's very good ones in town. And we haven't really taken on the swim lesson per se ourselves.
Wildwater certainly is a family-friendly environment. I was talking to your staff up in the office, and you know, there's a big difference between this water park and the other one across town, which escapes me now what its name is, but it's not important because we're focusing on you. But you let people bring food in.
Correct.
You let them cook.
We have barbecues available.
Yeah, that is really nice.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess you can come here all day, and you can also fish here.
We do have fishing lakes.
Yeah.
We started off as a picnic park. So we've not wanted to lose that aspect of our park.
Right.
And the day, because our families come here for the whole day.
Yeah.
They're here for hours and hours. So dad can fish, mom can read a book, they can barbecue, they can get snacks from our snack bar in between. You know, we want it to be an entire day full of lots of fun.
Right. Now, Rick Bubenik had also mentioned that you have other activities this summer going on. You have, what else do you have going?
Well, we're a water park, but we're also an entertainment facility.
Right.
So we have 5 nights doing the 4th of July show. So we have two shows, a show every night for 5 nights, spread over June 29th. June 30th, and then we go 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And that's a fun show. We have lasers, fireworks, live music at the end of the water park day.
Right.
Then we also have Friday family fun night, so we're open till 8 o'clock, and we're featuring the Polynesian dancers with a different set of dances every Friday night. The first one will be June 14th, and they'll teach kids how to do the Polynesian dances. And,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they got a little, you know, stuff that they can play with and kind of test their skills. And so we think that's fun. And then we also have our Saturday night fireworks on the lake. So we have,
oh, is that every Saturday?
We have 7 nights, all of July, and 2 in August, and the last one on the Saturday night of Labor Day weekend.
So on a typical day here at the park, how many kids or family would you anticipate being here?
Well, it's different. You know, a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday are lighter in terms of, you know, because there's less people. Weekends, a lot of people work, so weekends are their time here.
Yeah.
Plus, we have a lot of group parties, so we'll have a few thousand people here on the weekends.
And I bet this water park is also temperature driven. So when the temperature spikes, that's when you can expect the big crowds, huh?
Well, yeah, somewhat. You know, it kind of it does help for us to be hot, you know, have hot weather. I think that I'm probably unusual. I pray for hot weather, you know. A lot of people
don't. But of course, I don't own a water park either. Right. But you know, how fun is this that you have a water park?
Well, actually, it is fun.
Yeah.
We love what we do. Our job is to be there for people to have a good time and open up, so you can hear the screams, you can hear the sound of laughter. That's music to us. We love it.
Yeah.
And families and friends playing together, they build memories. I mean, you can't ask for a better job to do. So yes, we do. But we also see our park as a community asset. You know, we depend on the community to support us, so we're very grateful for that.
Well, you look at all these young kids that are also working for you as lifeguards and in the concessions and all that. How cool is it to be a kid working here at Wild Water Adventures? You know, when I grew up, I was working on a farm. We were packing peaches, so you know, an entirely different thing. But you know, this is great public relations skills for kids to learn. You know.
Well, you know, we do pride ourselves in that. We've given almost 15,000 children their first jobs.
Yeah.
We're on the 3rd generation. I don't recognize every one of them, but people do recognize us or say, oh, you're from Wild Water, I had my first job there. They could be a doctor, they could be an attorney, they could be a mom with kids and they're bringing their kids here with season passes.
Yeah.
So it's, there's a lot of joy in that.
Right. So how many lifeguards do you have to have? Is it for so many people you have a lifeguard on duty?
Well, when we're running the regular park, it's a position, and so we have staffing positions for most of them are just anchor positions that need to be there no matter if there's anybody in the pool or not, because they're guarding water in case someone is in there.
Yeah.
Then other positions are added as the attendants would be added.
Yeah.
Now for this event, it's very different because we're not using the regular attraction. We'll be using the wave pool. So we'll be moving people in smaller groups, and we'll be conducting the swim lesson that way.
So how do I sign up to get a lifeguard job here?
Well, I think most of them are taken, but we do have applications online.
Yeah.
At wildwater.net.
And you had a cattle call for applications when the season started. How many people showed up for that?
Well, we had in March we had a job fair at Sierra Vista Mall, and we had hundreds of kids. Well, probably 1,200 kids show up.
And you filled about maybe what, 300, 400 positions?
We have about 400 positions.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time on this segment, Kathy. But of course, the swim safe event and the the world's largest swim lesson. You guys have had an interesting history. This was started in 73, 74?
1974.
Yeah. And it was your husband that started this?
My husband with his uncle. They're business partners, and it's Wild Waters started as Clovis Lakes as a picnic park.
Right.
And the first thing we put in was a swimming pool, but we had camping and horseback riding and fishing and picnics in those days.
So people could come here and conceivably stay overnight and they could ride horses. And
Correct.
Was the property more extensive than just where the park is? Did you have riding trails beyond the park boundaries
There was
now?
about 130 acres off to the west of us.
Yeah.
That's not part of Wildwater today.
Yeah.
And so, but that changed in 1980. We opened our first water slides.
Yeah.
And you can see them behind us over here. That started moving us in the direction of a water park. There weren't really water parks or ride manufacturers when we first started, but then slowly there became ride manufacturers, and the whole water park industry grew as a portion of the theme park industry.
Yeah. And so you guys were on the cutting edge of when water parks started.
Absolutely.
You know, I want to trade places because I want to get your face in the sun. There we go. That's better, huh? See, that's why they pay me the big bucks. I'm a critical thinker.
Oh, all right.
So in 1980, you started this as a water park, and it just grew and grew and grew. You just kept adding attractions.
We did. Yeah. Every year or 2 or 3 or 4, we would add something new.
Yeah.
And so we added the Rampage, and then we added different flume rides, and just building and building. And the kids area came in we have a kiddie area that was put in 1985, then we expanded that in 1991. So it just kept growing. Yeah. And here we are today.
So what's the regular website address? Is it wildwater.net?
So it's wildwater, no S.
Yeah.
.net.
.net, and that's where people can log on and see more information about this park.
They can find out pretty much anything they want about the park. You can also purchase tickets or season passes online. You can also find email addresses to inquire about groups because we do a lot of birthday parties and group events. So we're still a picnic park in that sense.
I want my birthday party here.
All right, we'll sign up.
Okay. And you know, it was interesting when we were walking up, I was saying, you know, there's nothing like the smell of chlorine and fair food, you know.
Right.
And
funnel cakes.
You got that, funnel cakes. You got this aroma in the air that's just...
Well, it's exciting and fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then you see all the Dippin' Dots. Everyone's eating Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
So
and beyond people being able to bring in their own food, you also have a catering service.
We do for groups, for birthday parties, all the way through company picnics or family reunions. We can cater. Yeah,
that is very cool. Kids that are newborns are very accustomed to swimming. There's no issues with newborn children being able to be acclimated naturally to water.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's only when the child is old enough to be afraid and fear sets in, and they don't have any tools to know that they actually are buoyant. They actually can stay above water. But they panic, they can inhale water, and can be fatal.
Yeah, that's the kiss of death, is inhaling water, and then you panic at that point because...
well, it's you're not buoyant when you fill your lungs with water.
Right.
So then all of a sudden you sink, you can't get up, and you don't know what to do. And that's the real sad part, you know. And it takes only seconds, and especially the warmer the weather, the faster that happens.
So the world's largest swim lesson, you anticipate breaking a new world's record, and I guess the last one set was 24,873 at the associated water parks throughout America, right?
Right. So it's a simultaneous swim lesson.
Yeah.
It's, you know, basically it's a very basic put your face in water kind of lesson. Yeah. Which actually is a very good step for the child to learn to put their face in water and not breathe at the same time. But infants can learn that, you know. Yeah. It's a natural thing. It's a natural thing when it's introduced naturally. If there's panic, then it's not natural. Yeah. And that's where people get in trouble.
Now, how often are these lifeguards put into action because some kid did something and, you know, they get in trouble in deeper water here?
Well,
or is that a trick question?
It is a trick. It's a trick. Well, it's kind of a trick question because it's, you know, most of our water is not so deep that they can't stand up. Yeah. And if it is, then we restrict it to heights that can stand up. Yeah. So that's one of the things, that if somebody is in over their head, that they can stand up.
And I've been watching these lifeguards. They are like hawks. They've got their head on a swivel. They're all over the place. Yeah. You know, so you guys have done a good job of training these kids, and these are life skills that they can take on into college and into the workforce when they are ready to start a career.
Yeah, it's a very difficult job being a lifeguard. It sounds glamorous.
Yeah, but it's not.
The key thing is that you have to be attentive. If you get bored and your attention wanes or drifts, then now everybody's at risk.
Yeah.
So it's very important. There's very strict protocols. You see their heads moving. That's part of the watch to cover their water. So there's different rules that 10-20 rule. They all have 10 seconds to discover something and 20 seconds to respond. So it's that quick.
Where does all the water come from?
Yeah, is this deep water, deep wells that you get all this water from?
Well, we actually use less water than you would think. Once we fill the park, and yes, we are in the country, our water comes from wells, and we fill the pools, and then the water is all recycled through filters, and then we replace the evaporation.
Yeah, so you have probably evaporation is your biggest enemy here, because you've got so much of this that's in concrete.
Well, evaporation is pretty standard. It's an inch per square foot. In the heat of the day. So that's pretty much what in one day. So it's a few gallons that we have to replace every day. But in aggregate, it's far less than people in their homes doing all their things.
Yeah. What's your favorite attraction here? Everybody's got a favorite. What's yours?
Well, actually, the Rampage is fun.
Yeah.
The Sidewinder is unique.
And these are all newer rides,
and then the Ghost Slider is the one where you spin around and then you plunk into
a drain hole.
A drain hole, 7 feet of water.
Yeah.
And you're kind of disoriented, but you spin around and you slow down, and pretty soon you just plop.
And what's your newest feature here?
So, our newest one is for younger kids. And we just put in the dolphins, and we put in their slides. They go into 4 feet of water.
Yeah.
So it's for the 7-8-year-olds that can swim, but there's not a lot of lines. They just go. It's over in with the orcas. So we have orcas and dolphins. The dolphins just got put in this year.
Yeah.
Then we have a little tiny tropical fish. Everyone's trying to name him Robbie. So Robbie the tropical fish.
That's a good name. That's my name.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Robbie the tropical fish.
Yeah.
So he's our new addition to Adventure Bay.
Yeah. Now, when you get ready for the season and you hire all these kids, how much training do you put them through?
Each department is different. They're trained on what their job is. So food department gets the mechanical, how to put something together, how to make a hamburger, how to do this, somebody else's how to gather the order and put it out the window or give change.
Yeah.
They all go and learned about safe food handling practices.
Oh yeah, very important.
So that's all very specific to that department. So there's everyone in the park has a 2-hour orientation. This is a water park. We're not your parents. This isn't school.
Right.
You have to be responsible for this and this and this. So basically some basic job principles, work ethic, and clocking in and clocking out, and breaks, and things that they're responsible to do and make sure happen. And then we take them to their departments, and they get a few hours training in their department. Then they get shadowed and hands-on training.
Yeah.
So probably each person gets about 10 hours of training.
Oh, that's cool.
Specific to their job.
Yeah. And how long will the park stay open till? How late in the season will you guys stay open till?
September 2nd, Labor Day is our last day of operation.
And that's it, and then you shut it down, and then you go into cleanup mode and maintenance and all that.
Putting things away, and then planning, recapping and planning for the next year.